Hello, Namaskar, and welcome you all. I'm Amita Pathak, HR professional trainer and a motivational speaker. Today, I will talk about a very important topic. What is life? What are different facets of life? And what do we do when we stuck somewhere in life? That is how we handle our problems in life. And I will explore one technique of solving day-to-day problem. So, dear friends, are you interested to dive deeper and deeper into the world of a problem solving? If your answer is yes, so let us begin. It's time to discover our life. And what is a life? Life is just like this tree with different seasons and different color. Dear friends, we do have different shades of life. Life is a beautiful journey with rich set of experiences, ups and downs, memories, good and bad. But what we do if we stuck somewhere in our life and face problems? Should we stop and do only worry, or should we look for some options or alternatives to find out the ways to solve our day-to-day problem? If your answer is yes, it's time to dive deeper into the world of problem solving. I see you. What do you see here? Oh no, a car stuck heavily in snow. So, what do we do now? Should we just look at the car and say that, oh, what happened to this car? Or we will find out certain alternatives to pull out this car. Definitely, we will look for some options to pull out this car. So, what is in this next picture? In this next picture, you are seeing that there is one machine which is pulling out the snow and making the road free so that the car may come out and travel easily on the road. Dear friends, this is the picture of our life. In our life, also we do stuck somewhere, and to find out the options to solve these problems, we will look out for some alternatives, some tools and techniques to make our life easier. So it's time to explore our life. What is a life and how we can explore it? Life, as I told you, a beautiful journey, a beautiful ride. And when we are on this ride, what type of uh, facets we do have in our life? Let us see this. Operations. Operations encompasses our day-to-day activities, our daily chores, daily activities. Communication, whatever we talk to our friends, to our family, our office, that is our communication, how we are communicating, how we are expressing our thoughts to the outer world. Finances, taking care of our business transactions, financial transactions, stock market, this comes under finances. Health, when we look into the aspect of our health, our healthy regimes, our yoga, pranayam, gym regimes, or any exercise routine that we are following comes in our health. Learning. I am a very active and consistent learner. I love learning. Learning means getting some new skills, getting knowledge, getting information, and transmitting that information and knowledge to the outer world too. So that is learning. Food and nutrition. Food. What type of food should we intake every day? Is that should be healthy and nutritious? What type of vitamins should I take? Fruits and vegetable. What should be my regime for food and nutrition? How I plan my weekly planner for food and nutrition, that comes in a food and nutrition aspect. Spending time with my family, my friends, and doing a lot of recreational activity. That is another aspect of a life. Spirituality, connecting with a God, doing certain meditation, doing certain pranayama, doing certain type of meditation like I do Isha Kriya, or attaching to a form of a God in spiritual aspect. So these are certain aspects or facets of life. But in our life, when we are doing any of the activity from morning to evening, what is the end product of that activity? Do you have any guesses? If as a human being, I'm getting up early and going to office, taking care of my financial transaction, deciding what to eat, what to not, taking care of my family, talking with my office, and doing some meditation, seeing news. What is the end product of all these activities? So, dear friends, the end product of all these activity is lot and huge quantity of data. Data. What is data that is being generated? Whatever we do, data is being generated. So now comes one small activity, that is choosing the right key. What is the right key? Every one of you just see a lock here. Lock represents the life problems. And here are three keys, blue, red, and yellow. These represent solutions to the problem. So the task here is to identify the right key to open the lock. I will give you 5 seconds to decide that which key will open the lock in front of you. Will it a red, blue, or a yellow? Oh, now are you interested to find out the solution that which is the right key? Some of you will say blue, and yeah, that may be the right answer. Some of you will see this red key and say yes, this may be the solution. Yeah, it can be also. And the rest of the people will say yellow is definitely the right key to this lock. So dear friends, because life problems are different, so solution to life problems are also different. So all of you are correct because everyone is seeing this key as a solution to the life problem. And as I told you that for every life problem, the solution is a different. So all of you are correct. It's time to find out. It's time to unlock daily problem solving technique. We discussed what is life, what are different facets of life, and one activity about problem and solution. So here I am disclosing you data analytics as that secret key with which you can solve your daily problems. So are you interested to unlock daily problem solving using data analytics? If your answer is yes, let us begin and give power to our problem solving using data analytics and make our life easier. The term what is data? As I told you that during different facets of life, lot of data is generated. From morning to evening, whatever we are doing, whatever we are working, lot of data is generated. The point is, what is data then? Very simple term. Collection of facts, statistics, or information that is organized in or stored in certain formats: text, number, images, videos, and audio. For example, if I will say I get up at 5 a.m. So that 5 a.m. is the data that is in numerical form. Then I say I watch a movie ABC. So ABC is the movie in a video form. I wrote an email to my friend, that is in textual form. I have 100 rupees, that is in numbers. So we all are surrounded by lot of data around us. Just there is a need to look around us and find out find out that specs to see the data, what data can do. Yes, this data can do miracles if handled properly. Okay, so data is what? Data is the collection of facts and figure. Whatever activity we do in our daily day, the result and product is the data. Data can be structured in an organized format. Suppose I'm storing the record of employees. I need a database. I am recording my grocery expenses. I need a database or one Excel file. So that is a structured data. Unstructured. Suppose I am writing down one hobby and just I'm writing down 10 points about that hobby, about gardening. So that is unstructured, na? No rows and columns, not in a proper format. Semi-structured. Semi-structured, some of the data that is a combination of structured and unstructured is a semi-structured. Like some of the XML files where some of the data is in structured and unstructured format, mixed form. Next come data analytics. As I told you, data analytics is the secret key to solve our day-to-day problems in our life and make our daily life easy. So as of now, we studied what is life, what are different facets of life, and what is a problem, how we see a problem. Then we study about what is data. The next is what is data analytics. Data analytics. Data analytics, as the word encompasses data and analytics. So it is a process. What we do in this process, it is the process of gathering information, gathering data, examining it, cleaning it, transforming it, and interpreting data to extract insights and draw conclusion. We do informed decision making with this data. So clear? Data analytics. Data analytics, it is one of the process in which we gather the data, we examine the data, we clean the data using certain techniques, we transform that data into a meaningful form so that we can come out with certain interpretation, we can come out with certain insights and for meaningful decision making, and we can come to certain conclusions. So this is the data analytics. What do you see here? Certain tools and technique. So what do we need to analyze data? In data analytics, as I told you that it is the process of gathering information, examining information, interpreting information for meaningful insights. But how we do the analysis? So we need data analytics as the key. But what does data analytics involve? What are the different tools and techniques? As we are discussing data analytics in daily life, so the tools and techniques, what do we can follow are of two types, manual and digital. What is manual? Manual means taking a pen and a paper. I want to do the analysis that how much milk I receive in a month, in a year, in 3 years. Okay, so that is what I will do. Simply in most of the household, what's the procedure? To take a paper and pen and do the analysis on this. And then comes the digital. Yes, digital means using certain softwares to do the analysis. Mostly this is done when we have a huge quantity of our data or when we have certain digital efficiency like knowledge of Excel, PowerPoint. Okay, so in that case, we use the digital. If we talk about data analytics, say at a higher level, we may here use certain higher tools like SQL, Power BI, Tableau. These are the tools that are being used by the people in professional environment for studying the analysis and some more tools. But since the topic is data analytics in daily life, so yes, we can begin with a pen and paper in a simple form and studying a bit of Excel, we can make our life easier with data analysis. What is the process of data analytics? Dear friends, let us recapitulate first. We studied what is life, what are different facets of life, what is a problem, and what is data and data analytics. Now we are talking about one step further, that what is the process of data analytics and how these tools are going to help us. Dear friends, I am a Google certified data analyst. So I am using here the same knowledge and applying 6 steps of data analytics as per Google Data Analytics certification. What are these steps? Ask, prepare, process, analyze, share, and act. Shortly, I will call it APASA. Ask, prepare, process, analyze, share, and act. APASA. Yes, APASA. APASA is easier to recollect. So we will take this 6 steps one by one and understand data analytics using these steps and applying these steps in daily life. But before that, there is one small activity again. How much time you take? If you have 1 hour to solve a problem, how much time you take? In 2 aspects. Spend thinking about problem and solution. So the task is, you have 1 hour to solve a problem. And the second aspect is, how much time you will spend thinking about, you have to do 2 things here, problem and solution. So the task is to find out or to allot the timing to problem and solution. So we have 60 minutes and there are 4 solutions. I will give you 5 seconds to understand this question. Yeah. So dear friends, you have 1 hour to solve a problem in 60 minutes. So how much time you spend thinking about problem and a solution? Options are A, 30 minutes for problem, 30 minutes for solution, 45 minutes for problem and 15 minutes for solution. Then 60 minutes for problem and no time for solution, 55 minutes for problem and 5 minutes for solution. It's a bit a critical thinking. How much time should we spend thinking about a problem and getting the solution? To illustrate this, I have a person you know very well, Albert Einstein. What he said? He said, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I would spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem. 55 minutes thinking about the problem. I repeat, 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes to solve the problem. 5 minutes thinking about solutions. What does this imply? What's the gist of this statement? Dear friends, your answer may be different as I have 4 options, but the point to discuss here is that whenever we are in a problem, we stuck in a problem, it's much important to understand the problem, to get a clear and concise picture of the problem, to get deeper into the problem, to make problem understandable is the core concept. The core concept is that if there is a problem, just think and think and think about the problem first. Don't rush towards the solution, because if the understandability about the problem is clear, it's very easier to move forward towards the solution. So hope the critical thinking concept about the problem and solution is clear for you. That is, whenever we have a problem in our life, we have to find out the root cause of the problem. We have to look into all the aspects of the problem. We have to take into account why is the problem, what is the problem, where is the problem, and get a deeper and deeper understanding of the problem and don't rush towards the solution. When you understand the problem, it's much easier to move ahead the solution, just like a maths problem. If we do have a maths problem, what we do? If I have a word problem, what I do? I will look into the problem itself to understand the problem. To find then, once the problem is understood, I give sufficient time to understand the problem. If the problem is understood, then I will go ahead towards the solution. So, dear friends, we should always think about the problem deeply to get a better and a clear understanding of the problem and to move ahead towards the solution is easier if we know the problem itself. So now, as I told you that Google Data Analytics takes 6 steps and makes the understanding of the problem easier. What is that? As per Google Data Analytics, step 1 is ask phase. Ask what is ask phase? Understand the problem. I gave you earlier example because so that the first step is easier to understand. Ask means understanding the problem. What are the key points in this ask step? What we do in this ask step? Here we have 3 points: problem, objective, take others. Just I discussed Einstein's example here. Again, problem, core concept of the problem. Why is the problem? Is the problem the root cause or something else? To define your problem. Because if the problem is defined, it's much easier to find out the objective of the problem. And taking others' view. Whenever we have a problem, it's much required to understand holistic approach towards understanding the problem. In our day-to-day life, suppose Ram is not able to manage finances. This is his problem. The objective is to optimize the finances in daily life. But before that, to understand the problem, he should also take into consideration the view of his other family members, friends, or any person to whom he trusts. By doing so, Ram is able to make better understanding of the problem and to get the objective, to decide the objective from the problem. What is the objective that he want to meet is possible only when the problem is properly understood. So in ask phase, what we do? As per Google Data Analytics, in ask phase, what we do here? We understand the problem thoroughly from the core, clearly, and make objective out of it. Take others' views also to get better understanding of the problem. What we can take into consideration, what type of a question we can ask when we are in the ask phase? What is the person stating as a problem? Do you know sometimes we state a problem, but the problem is something different. Suppose Ram is saying that he is not able to manage finances, but maybe the basic reason is that he is not mentally stable. So the problem is something different. So it's much required that we should state the problem thoroughly, clearly from the core for better understanding of the problem. Then once the question is asked, I say something as a problem, I should also ask how that problem that I stated can be resolved. What should I do to solve this problem? Like for Ram, he is not able to manage finances. So he should also start questioning that what should I do that my finances can be managed properly. And then, is the stated problem really the root cause? Getting others' view. As I told you, that Ram is not able to manage finances, but maybe the reason is that he's having certain health issues, mental problem. That can be the reason behind the mismanagement of his finances. So we have to take holistic approach towards understanding the problem and getting the objective from it. What trends or pattern can we identify in the data? Dear friends, as I told you that in different facets of life, whatever we do, huge quantity of data is being generated. Mostly in professional world, what we are doing, we are recording the transactions, employee records, okay, business transaction, financial transaction. But actually in our daily life, we don't take care of much of our transaction. We don't write it down except milk का हिसाब और धोबी का हिसाब. But if we start recording our transaction, what we do in our daily life also, like some people are making daily diaries or making journals, we can get and we can get the information from there itself and can use that information as a source, as a base to solve our day-to-day problems. How can we use our finding to inform decisions or actions? Dear friends, always keep in mind that what we have to do as per data analytics, we have to think critically that what is the problem, understand it, find out is the problem really the root cause, and what trends or pattern can we identify in the data. So our data is very, very important base here, mother here, that is going to solve our problem. And keep in mind that we have to use that data to solve our daily problems and use our finding, help us to get informed decision making. In this case, Ram is not able to manage finances, but I will not give XYZ reason that Ram is not able to manage finances. Here I will talk about informed decision making using data as the base, and based on that base, I am extracting insights to do informed decision making. Hope ask phase is clear, in which we understand the problem, create our core objective, taking others' views, and always keep in mind that we have to use the data to answer our questions and queries to make informed decision making. Next is the prepare phase. What do I need? I do have data. Ram is having a data. Ram is not able to manage finances. The objective is to optimize his finances. Okay. Ram took views from his family, friends, that he is not able to manage finances. And keep in mind that he will use this data to solve his daily problem and make some informed decision making further. So next phase, we have prepare phase. Prepare phase, like a student prepare for exam. What do the student have in that case? Paper, pen, lot of preparation the student does. Similarly, dear friends, in prepare phase, we have to do lot of preparation to do our analysis. Let us understand certain key points in prepare phase. Identify data, meaningful organizing data, and selection of measurable metrics. So, here what we have, three things. Identify data. We have the problem, we have the objective. Ram is not able to manage finances. Objective is optimizing his finances. Now we have to identify the data. where the data is located. What Ram did here? Find out the source, like his banking transaction, his credit card statement, salary account, grocery expenses, different kind of expenses. That is the source of data. Maybe that is a manual. Maybe if Ram records certain data in Excel file to get certain financial banking statement, history or a record of his investment, expense detail, family expenses, unmanaged expenses, unorganized expenses, wherever data is available, we have to look into an account. If it is available with us, it is internal. If it is not available, suppose I have to get the record of say 3 years of my banking data, I will go to a bank. So I will look into account that where my financial data, that data related to my expenses is available or stored. I will identify the data which will help me to optimize my finances. Then once the data is identified, say Ram is taking care of 3 years of data. Ram just looked back for the last 3 years and just started looking the okay, how much expenses I do have, how much earning I do have, why I'm not able to manage, in which sections I have spent more. So each and every aspect, say Ram took last 3 years data into his account to make meaningful decision making. Meaningful organizing the data. Whatever the data Ram taking care of here, Ram never knew it that it should be organized properly. It can be in a messy, haphazard manner. Like we have messy toys in kids' room. What we do? We organize it so that it is reusable, it is manageable, it is identifiable. Similarly, data is everywhere. Ram took the data for the last 3 years transactions. Paper and pen also he utilized. Financial transaction he utilized. Banking transaction he utilized. So here, meaningful organizing the data. That is, suppose Ram took a help of one Excel file. He record year-wise and category-wise brought all the expenses. Grocery expenses, say, hospital expenses, banking transactions, fees, bills. So Ram took into account all the data and organize it meaningfully using certain tool as Excel. Then comes a selection of a measurable matrix, very important. Metrics are the quantifiable values that we use in data analytics to get meaningful insights. Like total expenses in a year, that can be a matrix. Then I can categorize the expenses as total fee, total bill. Okay, that is the measurable expenses for a financial transactions. So these are 3 key points that identify the data, make the data meaningful by organizing the data into a certain format using certain tools like Excel. And then comes a selection of a measurable matrix, that is quantifiable values on the basis of which we will do certain calculations. How to prepare? We have to take certain questions in mind to prepare. What is the goal of analysis? Why we are doing this analysis? We have to keep that goal in mind. Goal is our objective. That is to optimize the finances of the Ram. What data sources we need? Yeah, very important as I discussed. From where data is coming out. What is the base of the data? That is the files where I am storing it. The one, what I am doing here, I am extracting data from internal and external sources and organizing that data into a meaningful format such as Excel file. Where is data located? This again I discussed. My data is located now in Excel file so that I can do calculation here. Since the topic is data analytics in daily life, so all of my data mostly is in my hand. But if it is a professional environment, I have to take into care that where data is located sometimes at the primary resources, sometimes outside of my organization, and sometimes on the third party also. Like if I'm taking data from say certain websites, so that is the third party. Next comes the process. Ask phase, understanding the problem and deciding the objective. Prepare phase means organizing the data into meaningful format and looking for the matrix. Now comes the process. Make the data usable. What does come here? Key points. Tools, remove inconsistencies, is data biased. Tools, as I told you that here I am using Excel as a tool for storing the data and calculating the data. But if it is a professional environment, maybe I utilize certain more tools. Tools means certain softwares to understand and make the data meaningful, to process the data. Okay, but here Excel is sufficient itself. Removing inconsistencies. Inconsistencies means when I am working on the data, certain irregularities in the data is there, like duplication of data, some blank fields, null values. Okay, so these are the inconsistencies. Suppose date, I'm talking about date, but date is stored in a certain ABC format. I'm talking about sum of expenses, but expenses are in a character format. So will it add up? No, no. I have to remove inconsistencies from data so that it is quantifiable and I'm able to do certain calculation on it. Na? Is data biased? Data is biased when data is not representative of the whole data. My sample data, if it is not representative of the whole data, it is biased. My data should not be biased. That is, suppose in Ram's case, if Ram is taking care of his expenses and while collecting the data, he just forget to take into account one category, that say fee, he forget, bills he forget, and rest of the things that he only just made his calculation based on grocery data or investment, but he forget one important section, say bills or fee. So in that case, the data is not representative of the whole data. I'm taking the sample data, my data is not representative of the my whole data. Data should be representative. Whatever data you should take into the holistic approach. Like in a, suppose I'm talking about a, I will give you one example here about bias. Is data biased or not? Suppose I'm working in a company and I have been given a task to find out the opinion of people who are willing to go to hill station or beach. There are 100 people, 50 female and 50 male. Now what I did, in first case, I took survey of these 100 people and came to conclusion that most people are interested to go to beach. But in second case, what I did that I will take into account 50 males view and 10 female view. And based on that, I gave a conclusion that most of the people are interested to go to the beach. So in first case, my Data is not biased because my data is surveys based on the equal number of male and female ratio. But in the second case, my data is gender biased. That is, my data is not properly representative of the population. So this is an example of a bias. My data should not be biased. I have to take holistic approach to find meaningful trends and pattern, and if this is possible if my sample data is fully representative of my whole population. Hope it is clear. How to process it? What we should take into consideration when we are processing the data. As I told you earlier also, that data is the mother of data analytics, base, foundation. So our data should be of high quality, and always remember what is the best possible answer my data is going to give me. That is my data serving the purpose? Is my data solving the problem? Is my data is working on the core objective? How to clean the data? And also take into account to clean the data. Like I told you that if it is a messy room, what we do? We clean it, organize it, remove unwanted things. Similarly, in data, what we do here? We remove unwanted rows and columns, unwanted information, unwanted duplication. Okay, duplication, null values, we remove it now. जो नहीं चाहिए निकाल दो बाहर. The thing is that we should have a clear, crisp data, which is easily identifiable, which is able to do magic. If my data is not clean enough, it will not do magic. Or if my data is having garbage in it, it will give garbage inside. So I don't want garbage inside. What I want that informed decision making. For that purpose, my data should be of high quality and able to solve my problem as per my objective. And what data errors or inaccuracies? Also keep in mind that data may have certain errors. Wrong values may be supported, or certain incorrect information. Okay, so here we should have a critical thinking mind, just like a spy. To look into the data, just take into account that data should be meaningful, data should be of high quality, and if there are certain errors or inaccurate results are there, we have to make necessary updation it or remove the unwanted data to make data driven decision making. Next step is analyze. Wow, analyze here is the favorite part of this analysis. We ask questions to identify the problem, then we made objective out of it. We look for the source of data, then we look for the quality of a data, we prepare, we process it, and it's time to analyze. Now we have a clear, crisp data. Okay, and we use certain tools here to analyze our data. What are the key points? Analyze, calculate, and visualize. Three things are here. Analyze. Analysis here is that now we have a meaningful data. Say Ram is having data of 3 years of his expenses, expense sheet of 3 years. Now he made one single worksheet which encompasses his whole picture representing expense detail of 3 years. Okay, so with just like a spy, Ram will now take into account what is the area, what are the different categories where I spent most, what are the areas where I was extravagant, what are the areas where I didn't spend. Suppose now he's just try and looking into the data with specs on, spectacles. That is, he is not doing critical thinking, apply thinking. Not only thinking, he just trying to get insights from it, find out the reasons to meet the objective to optimize his finances. Once he studied the data, applied analytical thinking, think creatively, he definitely come out with certain conclusions. Like maybe he found certain areas where he can manage his expenses, but he was extravagant in that area. Calculate. How to calculate it? Calculate. What is the calculation? Calculation means sort and format the data and create different views. We have a data, we will sort it, organize it. Okay. If it is date wise, we will say January, February, March, or if it is year wise, we will say 2020, 21, 22, 23. That is, we are organizing it, sorting it. I'm formatting the data as per my need. I will apply those functions. Suppose I want to find out average of my expenses. So I will apply the average function based on the data. If I want to find out what is the maximum expenses, say in bills, or maximum expenses in household. Suppose Ram bought a new furniture, or Ram bought a new fridge. So that may term that a one expenses that will not occur every year, but due to that expenses, Ram's expenses were out of budget. So he is able to find out the reason with data. He's not saying and assuming that okay, during this year this has happened because I was extravagant. No, he is saying the things with a proof, with a data, and that is the power of a data. You are not saying or assuming anything. You are saying a thing with proper statement using data as a support tool. Okay, and that is giving you a clear picture. So in analyze phase, we apply analytical thinking, become creative, and apply certain thinking skills to come out with conclusions. We apply calculations here, like sum, average, max, minimum, and get different views of the data. Like, I want to identify the trend where I spent maximum. I want to identify the months where I spent most of my money. I want to identify the months where my expenses are in a limit. So now I am thinking like a analyst in my daily life. And dear friends, believe me, this is going to help us out to solve our day-to-day problems. Story that must hold an awesome grasp. Visualize. Next is visualize. Visualize means visuals. Like, it's much easier if I saw a movie to remember than if I just read a book. Maybe I forget some of the pages of the book, but all of us still today remember the most enjoyed movie in our life. Why? Because it is in visual form. So similarly, dear friend, as of now, we have polished data, we apply certain calculations on it, and now it's time to visualize it, to see that data in a different form, just like a movie. Now you are a movie maker. You can identify different ways to make your story meaningful. It's time to unfold your story using awesome graphs. And Excel is the basic thing that we should know to work on the graphs. Excel has different type of graphs based on our data requirement calculations. Line graph, bar graph, okay, pie, scatter. So we don't go into deeper level, but just if we want to see the data in a visual form, we have to take the help of Excel, and that is how to visualize the data. What sort of questions we can think upon or ask in a analyze phase? See, whatever analysis we do, we have to think creatively and keep into mind that what story is my data telling? How will my data help me solve the problem? And best type of a chart to show insights. So, in analysis phase, what we did, we have clean polished data, we apply analytical things, we apply different calculations and create graphs. And in choosing graph, we will look into account what is the best type of a chart to show insights. And I will utilize that chart to make my visuals appealing. In professional world, we do have different tools to analyze the data. Like I told you earlier, Tableau, Power BI. But yes, the topic is data analytics in daily life. So here we can use our Excel as a basic tool to visualize our expenses detailed in the case of RAM. Step 5, share. One of the important phases is share. In share phase, what we do? Clear conclusions, informed decisions, show how the problem is solved. Now, we have different insights from the analysis phase. We have charts, but whatever analysis I did, is my analysis correct? Is my analysis only correct? No, we have to take others' view. Show your data to the respective people. If it is the case of a Ram may discuss that with his spouse or family member or relative. Look, due to these reasons, my expenses were out of budgets. Or these are the areas I should need to focus upon. We have to work for our analysis using different views to get a better understanding of our insights, to get a clear conclusion. That's why we have to take into others' view. Suppose Ram has appointed certain CA. So Ram can take into account the view of a CA. Look, these are my expenses and these are the areas in which most of the expenses occur. I think I can better manage it. Will you please look into account? What's your view? Maybe CA can give his own insight, and getting insight based on that data, we can get different beautiful insight by the expertise of another person. So again, in share phase, what we do, whatever the analysis we do have, we share that analysis with concerned person. In case of a Ram, it can be his family members, spouse, or friends, or as I told you, an example of a CA, or any concerned person. In a professional environment, that can be stakeholders, that can be project managers, or people with whom that project or analysis we have to share. How to share? Whenever we are sharing something, it must be very, very easier to understand. Don't make complex conclusions. Just keep in mind, if I am the listener and these are the conclusions, is it easier to understand? If it is, then share the data. From whom to get feedback? Sorry. Very important, from whom to get feedback. These are the same person with we are sharing the data. Don't forget to get the feedback from them. In case of a Ram, if Ram is sharing his conclusion with his CA, don't forget to get the feedback from him. Or in a professional environment, if we are sharing conclusions with, say, stakeholders, please get the feedback from them. They may delay sometimes, but it's important to get the feedback from them. Step 6, the last phase, act. We know the problem. We know the problem. Let's solve it. Recommendation for further action. Dear friends, let me remind you, what was the problem? Ram was not able to manage finances. We have to solve it. Now we did it. How? Recommendation for further action. What Ram has to do based on his data. Now, Ram was not like earlier. He knew what are the areas where he spent most. What are the areas where he spent least. Why he spent most. What are the areas where he can improve his spending pattern. He can optimize. What are the areas where he can reduce his spending pattern. Now Ram is able to make data-driven decision making. And the problem is solved. What are the various questions that we can take into account? How can the feedback received during the share phase be used? See, in the share phase, as we approached concerned person towards his views, if that information is meaningful, add or give value to that information in recommendation also. We can take into account what should be the potential solutions to the outlined problem. Now, is the problem worth solving using data? Data is helping you to solve a problem. If your answer is yes, it means you did data analysis using data using data. So in act phase, what we do? We solve the problem and apply recommendation on it. Like in the case of Ram will look into account, okay, to reduce the expenses, say in grocery categories, or to apply green energy concept for efficiency of electricity bills, or to take into account his travel plans where he can save some money. Or Ram can look into account of opening certain saving plans where he can optimize his monthly saving, which can be utilized later on. So dear friends, this is data analytics. Trust me, if you apply the process of data analytics and use these phases, ask, prepare, process, analyze, share, act, apasa. So by doing this, you can make your life easier. And it's not only easier, you can make data-driven decisions. And yes, you hit the nail. Great effort, well done. You did data analytics. And dear friends, you applied data analytics and helped Ram to overcome his problem and optimize his finances. It's time, quiz time. How many phases are in data analysis process? I think 6. Yes. Which phase deals with collecting data? Ask, prepare, process, or analyze? It's prepare. We must get views from others to prevent bias. Which phase is this? I'm little confused. I told you. What do you think? To get bias. Sure? Yes. So what is the role of data analytics? Problem solving, decision making, finding patterns, all, definitely all. So dear friends, we are done with data analytics. Real life case studies. Let's take into account to apply real life case studies in data analysis and how it helped to solve our problem. Netflix. Whenever we are watching Netflix, question arises, how does Netflix knows our choices? Because Netflix is recording the data of our watching patterns and showing us those episodes, those streamings that are of our interest. Amazon always recommend us the products in which we are interested so that we may go ahead with the shopping, because they are also data analysis for the interest of the customer. Google, the best thing is that whatever we search comes here. How Google utilizes our data to understand what type of a information the person is looking for and prepare or recommend article based on that search engine. So dear friend, data is everywhere. If utilized judiciously and applied analytical skills on it, it can work wonders. So I request you all that we should apply data analysis in our daily life and make our life easier and make data-driven decision making. Dear friends, we have a scenario here. Are you interested to help someone using data analysis? Look who is here. Mrs. Mega is a passionate and dedicated educator who is determined to improve her spending habits. Recognizing the need for better financial management, she seeks to optimize her expenses and achieve her long-term financial goals using data analytics that you know now. 6 steps. Kindly help Mrs. Mega to optimize her finances. We have to help now Mega. Earlier we helped Mr. Ram. Now we are going to help Madam Mega to optimize her finances so that she may achieve long-term financial goals. Let us do how. What is the solution for Megha? Ask. We will ask Megha, what is your problem, so that we may derive an objective. What we will take into account, what are specific aspects of expenses? How can data help? What are the metrics to track? So in ask phase, the objective is optimize finances of Megha. Okay. Prepare phase. Prepare phase, we gather data. Now from where we gather data? Megha has stored information in mobile, some app, expense app, paper format, pen and paper. Some bills are there, some expenditures are there. So what we do, how we help, we ask Megha that give us that information and we will record that information for you in a Excel sheet so that all the expense detail may comes in single sheet. Then comes process. What we do here in process phase, we cleanse the data, remove inconsistencies, okay? And the matrix, we will take care of the matrix. We will calculate monthly expenses for each category. And we will identify any irregular or unexpected expenses. That is that a regular expenses, like If I'm buying grocery, this is a regular expense. But if there is certain shoot up in the bill of electricity, that is irregular. That is not expected. If there is certain hospitalization expenses, that is unexpected. So I will identify any irregular or unexpected expenses and then calculate monthly expenses of for each category. Okay. Next comes the analyze. What I did in analysis, analyze expense data and identify pattern, insights, and area for improvement. Now in analysis, I will utilize my critical thinking, thoroughly analyze my expense data and identify pattern. Why my this expense is shooting up? What is the reason behind it? What is the time period of the month or of the year when the expenses are more? What is the reason behind it? And matrix, what I utilize the matrix here: monthly expense reduction rate, budget adherence, saving rate, return on investment for cost saving effort, emergency fund coverage, financial goal achievement. So these are certain metrics that I utilize in my analysis phase so that I can thoroughly understand the data, what my data is going to tell, what story my data is going to tell, what is the reason, how I can help Megha to optimize her financial goals. Now, based on these metrics, I do have certain insights and I will share these findings. Sharing with whom? Sharing with the family. How to optimize spending habit. What should I include or what I should exclude? What are the efficient ways to save money? What are the efficient strategies I should apply in my finances? Like investing in mutual funds, like switching to green energy, or what should I do? I will apply those I will share those conclusions with my friends or a family members in case of a Megha's family member. Act. Now it's time to take action. As I told you, data is the mother, data is the base, data can help you. And if applied analytics in daily life, this will give you a strong foundation to make data-driven informed decision making. It's time to take action. Becomes proactive. What are the actions? Become proactive. Decide in advance where to spend money. Set a monthly budget for respective categories. Suppose I have to spend 10,000 for groceries. So if I am spending, say, 10,500, why that 500 going beyond that category? Consider switching to energy efficient options. The reason is that electricity expenses can be reduced. What are the areas where she can save money? Identify it. Building an emergency fund. I recommend building an emergency fund. So these are my recommendations that you should become a proactive, allot monthly budget to respective categories, switch to energy efficient option, and identify area where you can spend money. Build an emergency fund. If you apply these things in your daily life, you are able to do financial management. You can optimize your financial goals. So these are my recommendations to Megha. So dear friends, this is one scenario where we apply data analytics in daily life. We can apply data analytics in any aspect of our daily life and help people to solve day-to-day problems. Scenario 2, improving fitness routine using data analysis. What is here? Mr. Siddharth, a busy professional, is here who struggles to maintain a consistent fitness routine. Despite his best efforts to exercise regularly, he often feels like he is not making progress towards his fitness goal. So how many of you feel similar concern? He often feels like he is not making progress toward his fitness goal. Without clear insights into his fitness habits, it's difficult for him to identify areas for improvement and make meaningful changes to his routine. He want to do certain improvement, but where? Why? He doesn't know. Now the task is we should apply data analytics to this scenario for improving his fitness routine. What should be the solution for Siddharth? We apply Google data analytics with 6 steps in our daily life and help Mr. Siddharth. So are you with me to help Mr. Siddharth? Apply ask phase. Objective is to improve fitness routine of Siddharth. We will ask what are specific aspects of fitness routine to improve. What should Mr. Siddharth do to improve his fitness routine? How can data help? What are the metrics to track? Prepare phase. Gathering data. From where to gather data? From fitness app, from wearable devices, manual tracking method. Wherever it is possible, I will collect the data and save the data in a spreadsheet. Next, process. Now what I have to do? Combines data from different sources and format it in a way that's easy to analyze. Cleans fitness data, remove unwanted things, remove redundancies, remove inconsistencies, duplication, null value, जो नहीं चाहिए निकाल दो, जो काम का नहीं है साइड पर रख दो. Removing unwanted data, because analysis will be done only on clear data. If it is not clear, if it is not organized, analysis will be of no use. When we are doing analysis, it means we have a clear, crisp, accurate data of high quality. Analyze. What we analyze here? Examines his fitness data thoroughly and identify pattern. What my data is telling to me. Identify insights. What are the areas for improvement? And here, what are the metrics I will take care? Workout frequency, duration, intensity, and as well as sleep, nutrition, and stress level. Because we have to improve the fitness routine of the Mr. Siddharth. That is our objective. Share his finding with a trusted fitness coach. Now, I will share the finding with a fitness coach or a mentor of Siddharth. What is his feedback on this? What is the feedback of that mentor or a coach to improve Siddharth routine? And also share his progress with family and friends so that I do have a holistic view about my conclusions before acting. Now it's time to give recommendation to Siddharth. Take action to make changes to fitness routine. What are the different changes you should apply to fitness routine? Then I will ask Siddharth, set specific measurable goals. Like I will run on treadmill for this much time, this much steps walk, or this is my yoga routine, or adding certain new exercises or workout styles. So what I did here, I gave a recommendation to Siddharth that he will take actions to make changes in his fitness routine and utilize measurable goals like to reduce weight by 5 kg in 2 months. So this is a measurable goals. And with the help of a coach, suppose coach has recommended certain addition of exercises. So I can add those recommendations also in my act phase. So dear friends, this is a way that we can help Mr. Siddharth to improve his fitness routine. We can apply data analysis in every phase of our life, wherever we stuck, and get the solutions. What is the significance of data analytics in daily life? empowers informed decision making. We are not talking in a haphazard manner with assumption. We are talking with facts. And when we have a fact, it gives power to our informed decision making. Supports problem solving. We have a problem, but here we are supporting that problem with a solution. Isn't that fantastic? Drives innovation. We can give some new ways, creative ways to give value to our life. Enhances efficiency and effectiveness. When we know that we have a solution and how to do it, like in the case of Siddharth. Now Siddharth is more efficient in his workout, and we have given an effective solution to Siddharth to improve his daily fitness routine. Enables personalization. Using data analytics, we do have personalized problem solving. Every person is a different, so problems are also different, but don't worry, we have a solution. We can give personalized solution using data analytics and help people to make their life easier. It's time for celebration. Yeah. Who is going to collect this badge? I am data analyst. You did it. Yes, I am a data analyst and you are too now, because you studied 6 phases of data analytics and applied in daily life. You helped Megha and Siddharth to solve their daily problem, and I'm sure that you will apply these skills in your daily life too to solve your day-to-day problems. Who will collect this badge? I love data. Wow. Problem solver badge. Oh, great. So, dear friends, if you are with me till now, it means you are a great human being who is going to solve problems of yourself and others using data analytics and make yours life and others' life easier one. And I am proud of you and allotting these badges to you. Live a quality life with data analytics. Life is happy. Life is always happy, full of opportunities, experiences, relationships, and we should always enjoy our life. Just this is a life. Life is happy ever. But what happened? Now, life is with problem. When we are with problems, life is just like a burning earth, and we do get stuck. But now I think you are not afraid of it. If your life is full of problems, apply data analytics to it. You have a key. And when you apply data analytics to it, you will get a data-driven quality life. Dear friends, life is beautiful, beautiful. Don't get distracted. Don't get into trouble. If your life is just like this, apply data analytics, ask, prepare, process, share, analyze, and act, and make your life easier and simpler. Why not only your life? Everyone who is living on this earth and is facing certain problems, become his or her mentor, coach, or a guide, and make your life of that person easier or simpler by recommending and guiding certain solution, and make data-driven quality life for everyone. This is my passion, that life should be happier and easier, and it's up to us that how we take that life. If we apply analytics to it, the life will be easier and simpler one. What is the takeaway of this session? Empower your life with data analytics as your secret guide. In every human being, a problem solver resides with pride. Dear friends, apply data analytics in your daily life and your problem will go away in a fraction of a second. The whole world will be happy and transformation shall embrace as blessings are bestowed, guided by data's grace. Harness the power of a data-driven skills. Solving problems with analytics. All is well, all is well, always well. So dear friends, I expect that if you understand this video, you will apply data analytics in daily life and stay happy always. If you have any query or a question, and if you want to conduct any type of a presentation around you like this, contact me at the email address given to you. I will ensure to give my fullest to solve your day-to-day problems and make your life easier and simpler. With this, I'm just concluding and just saying bye-bye to you. But don't forget that you have to make your life easier and simpler by solving your day-to-day problem with data analytics. And please like, share, and subscribe this video if you want similar kind of a video. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you.